If you are in a relationship with a manifestor, or you are a manifestor yourself and want to learn more about that, then you are at the right place, because in this video we're going to talk about how to love a manifestor. And this is going to be part of a series on all the types, so also check out my other videos to that. My name is Leandra, if you don't know me yet, and I'm a human design expert and I work in the holistic health field. And if you want to work with me and see all the options that I have available for that, you can check all the links down in the box below. So in human design, we have 5 different energy types, and energy type is building the foundation, building the basis on everything that we're then gonna build up on top to, because type is already telling us a lot about the basic character of a person and how the person interacts with the world, and also partly at least how that person makes their right and correct decisions. So if we understand energy type, we can already tell a lot about a person and also on how to interact with them. So if you have a manifestor in your life, there is a few things that you can take into consideration when interacting with them, or when even in a relationship of any kind with them. Manifestors are actually quite rare. There's just 9% of manifestors. So dating a manifestor or being with a manifestor will be a little bit more of a rare case. If 2 manifestors come together, they understand each other obviously quite well, because they function in a very similar way. So they will have obviously similar patterns, and therefore it might be quite harmonic actually. If another type though comes together with a manifestor, their way of functioning or their way of dealing with the world or being in the world is extremely different. So that's why it can help to know a few tricks and tools on how to make that relationship a little bit more harmonic, and how to interact with the other better. So the first thing that we need to know is that the manifestor really is a very freedom-loving and very independent individual. They need their own space, they need their own timing, they need to do whatever they want to do in their own time frame. So the first thing is that you really need to understand that the manifestor needs their freedom. Let them be, let them go out and do their own things. Give them some alone time, because otherwise they feel really trapped, and therefore might distance from you because they need to do their own thing. So from an early age on, or from an early stage of maybe dating, also let them their freedom and don't try to control them. And that can come hand in hand with a manifestor ideally informs you about their action, or informs you about that beforehand. However, sometimes they forget to do so, and that can lead into you feeling really insecure, or you feeling like you want to attach. And therefore it is important that maybe you start to inform the manifestor about what's important for you, or about your process, about what you're doing. That can help the manifestor to also therefore understand that they need to inform you about these certain things, and therefore make the relationship more easygoing. The next thing is that the manifestor has bursts of energy. So sometimes their energy will come out of them, and then they want to initiate something, then they want to take action, then they want to have impact in the world. And depending on what authority they have, or what other centers they have activated, that can show up in very many different ways. What's common though is that they have these inspiration, and they have these ideas and bursts of energies, and then at other times nothing will come out of them. So it is super important that you understand and accept that your partner or your manifestor person has these bursts of energy, and therefore at some points they will be extremely energized and want to do something, and then at other points they maybe need a little bit more rest. That can also show up in their sleeping patterns. So maybe sometimes they cannot sleep at all because they're so energized and so hyped up, and at other times they will find themselves extremely exhausted and then sleep over a long period of time, and might be a little bit with less motivation. So don't push them, don't force them, and accept that sometimes they might be extremely excited and extremely charged up with energy. And that can serve you as well when you're another type specifically, in order to get initiated into something that is right for you. So you can also use these bursts of energy in order to get inspiration, in order to start something new, because that is what the manifestor is here to do. And then also, the next thing is that you need to be accepting that they do not like boredom. So they will want to have a changing schedule, or at least some excitement in their everyday life, unless we have some other indicators in their chart. So they need to get the stimulation. They need to do something new. They need to explore or to be very active in their energy. So if you are a little bit more laid back person who does not like these kind of things, maybe you just want to let them do these things on their own, letting them go on vacation on themselves, or letting them do all sorts of activities that they want to do. Or you do them together, obviously, but not making them feel bad for wanting to explore or wanting to get their life very exciting. And the thing is that they're not here to actually do or come in the executing role. So that is really the thing. They're here to initiate something or to be the starters of something, but they're not the ones who then sit in, day out and do, because that is actually very quickly exhausts them and drains their energy. So if you're, let's say, a generator and you live in the same household, being accepting of that you might do a little bit more of the housework, obviously if that's in accordance to your strategy and authority, but maybe you want to do a little bit more of the doing, a little bit more of the executing role, whereas the manifestor will not have necessarily the energy available for that and will not love to do that. Obviously, it's always about finding a compromise here, right? And you will do that obviously with all your manifestor relationships, but also knowing that they can be drained of doing a lot of physical work or being in the executor role, depending obviously on their whole chart as a whole. So yeah, I hope that it helped you find a bit more clarity and a bit more understanding on how to better deal with manifestors and how to love a manifestor. Do you have manifestors in your life? Let me know. And if you want to know more about your chart or your loved ones, then get in touch for a personal reading, or you can do the courses that I have on my website. With that being said, I'm sending you so much love, and bye. See you next time.